Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in our Ultimate Base 3.0. Today I have a lot of things to cross off my to-do list. It is getting bigger and bigger and I'm just touching on things without finishing them. So there are a few projects I want to focus on in the first part of this episode, and then we see what else we can do. One thing we kind of started and didn't finish off is the oxygen pipe here. I guess I can just leave the game running for a while. This pipe here is temporary, however we cannot currently access it, so yeah, I guess I'm just gonna deconstruct this guy. We then have our oxygen pipe going all the way up. This is good. Right here we need to continue it and somehow lead it into one of our oxygen pipes. Preferably one we use on a regular basis. I guess I rather build a bridge here, because that's how it's gonna be in the end. So I won't have to replace the bridge here once it is time. And this is gonna stay here for a while, but it is also temporary until we have filled up the room with hydrogen. So also here I would like to see the bridge, and then we continue the oxygen all the way up. And then we also have to change the hydrogen pipes. This is important because it will change a few things. So what I was thinking we could possibly do is hop over here. So we first come one tile back and then hop over here and continue down. This way we have the same system going on and it's not going to interfere with each other. And we can then just move the hydrogen all the way down to here. So we are not going to need any of this shebang anymore. This will actually require me getting back into the contraption, which will suck a little bit. But you know, for perfection we have to suffer a little bit. You know, there are already too many gases outside so that I don't want to risk anything. We can easily make a liquid lock like so. I think this is actually gonna use up less of our precious time if we do it like so. We should also be able to make our way inside of here in case we need to pick things up. Yeah, I believe as soon as we destroy this pipe here... Actually, let me see. Did that happen here? Okay, we might actually get lucky, so we don't have to enter the hydrogen room. By the way, you also gave me an awesome tip for the hot top. We don't have to build it out of gold amalgam. We can do steel, and then the overheat temperature is not going to be an issue anymore. And that is actually a thing. Overheat temperature plus 200 degrees. That is going to finally make it possible for my duplicants to use the hot top for more than 2 seconds. My bottle emptiers are in place. I'm just adding the water, and now we should be able to enter right there. Therefore, I can quickly pick this up without any issues. Well, I would say with not too many issues. I also want to mop this up, but only up to this point right there. And then we don't mop this away. That keeps us safe. Yeah, overall, I think that sucked a little bit less than having the wrong gases in this place. And just like that, on the left side, it looks as if we were never here. Unfortunately, there are a couple of things that drop down here, so I will also have to get them somehow. And I think the easiest way to get in there will be a staircase pattern. We will be losing a little bit of water probably, but nothing else. And now we can already get in there, grab the materials. Nice. Gonna do the same thing for each of these. And just like that, it is as if we were never here. I'm actually really glad this worked out, and now all my pipes are fixed. The hydrogen can still go down and be stored. And now I can route this nice and clean all the way over here. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna add a bridge here for the steam right across the conductive joint plate. We then go ahead, cut this, and this goes directly into the base. Whether it's going in here in this room or then joining the pipe doesn't matter. Okay, nice. That is one thing out of the way. I'm gonna remove the coal pipe that we had here. Carbon dioxide, that's what I meant. Something else I have on my list that I just need to tell you is I finally managed to mop this up when it was at a certain level. It's actually right here. I forgot to clean the mess up, but I managed to fix that. Also, we have those larva eggs for testing with the carbon dioxide, though I don't think it's gonna be worth it. I might actually have mentioned that in the previous episode. Oh, look at that. The rocket actually returned. It's set to all. Let me ground this for now. Checking out crew deal, this is actually gonna take much longer than I first anticipated, so I think what I'm gonna do is speed this up a little bit. Right now you can see the pipes are not full, and that is because I'm dumping back the oil right here, but it is so much oil already that I think it's gonna be worth it to maybe dump it here on the left side and pump everything out on the right side. But then again, the oil is the heaviest material, so we are gonna struggle with that. So what I'm possibly gonna do is first set up a reservoir where we're gonna dump the oil into. That means our primary goal is going to be to kind of pump this empty. We take some pipes, connect them, and our first goal is basically to just pump this empty. Then in the next step, we're going to move these pumps and then only dump the oil inside of here so we can take care of everything else. I just totally underestimated how long this is going to take. Alright guys, we are back. It is about 4 days later or so in real time, because I had absolutely no time to video game anything this week. It was one of my saddest weeks ever. But now we're back. I'm gonna continue fooling around in today's episode a little bit, and then maybe the next time we can do another project again when I have time to play finally. I think what we possibly could achieve in today's episode is a replacement for this and the system we had over here. And I guess right now I don't necessarily need it anymore. Let me see. We have like enough kilocalories on crude oil. I'm not sending the water with this anymore, but look at that. We are actually using it now up slowly. So yeah, I think while we're fixing crude oil in terms of liquids, we can actually work on that on the main planetoid. I don't intend to land a rocket here anymore, so let's take everything apart that had to do with the rocket we placed there. Don't need those ladders or the wall or this contraption. As a matter of fact, we take everything apart. All the power cables can go as well. And naturally, all the piping, of course. I'm gonna make it possible to access this part here with a ladder. We do not need that door anymore. If they open it up, we always lose a little bit of gases. Though not really necessary gases if I think about it. This can also go... Yeah, I still filled that up manually. I feel so ashamed. I'm also getting rid of the oxygen system here that we had for the rocket. And of course we don't want any of the background buildings either. Okay, looking good. I think we're getting there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We're also gonna mop this up and clean this up. I don't necessarily want any of the debris right here when we start building the new contraption, which is gonna be the improved version of what we had previously. But yeah, as long as we still can, we should set up this permanent system so that whenever we visit other planetoids, we will have an easy way to supply it with any of the materials we require. Alright then, let's freaking do it. The question is, do I still want the possibility to actually enter the room? And how much space am I gonna need for everything? Yeah, you know, I think technically we have enough space, but I want to remove this ladder. This is not how we're gonna access this room in the future. For now, I just want them to exit right here. That's gonna be fine. And then food. Let's check out farm tiles. We want to do this in a specific pattern here with our Wheeze wards in order to maximize the Radbolts we can get from them. So probably something like that is going to do the trick. We're also going to have our Radbolt collection. Let's see, generator. Wait, a manual generator. No, we want the Radbolt generator here. I'm going to make it out of obsidian. We can have one collection point here. Another point right there, and we want to make sure that the collection point is right at the base of the plant. And so we have a third one over there. This is going to be a little bit more power hungry than what we had previously, but naturally it's also going to provide more Radbolts per cycle. We can then use an auto sweeper, maybe right there. This is not going to get in the way of any of our plants. And then finally somewhere we're gonna need a conveyor receptacle. I think I'm gonna place this right here, so we still have a little bit of space to set up the buffer and our grid system. With all that out of the way, we also already know where we have to build the joint plate. Yeah, right there it is. We want the joint plate to go there, and then on top of it we're gonna have our Radbolt chamber. So that one is gonna go right there. And of course these will have to point into another direction, but generally that might just work out fine. We would then probably go ahead and limit this room. I might even want to make sure to set up a bunch of window tiles, like on top of this guy and there, so these may collect a bunch more Radbolts. My only question about this is, are we still gonna daisy chain a couple of these? And I'm not so sure about that anymore. I never really used it. On the other side, it was kind of a nifty system we were able to set up here. Yeah, that would mean I'm gonna require more space on the top. I think I'm still gonna do it. This is also gonna allow us to add a transit tube here for maintenance. So say our access point can go right there, and we should be able to move this pipe up easily. This here would then be the end of our room. And I guess we need a little bit of space here for the automation as well. So I'm gonna do that. And for symmetry's sake, I'm not actually gonna add the windows now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add my power cable, the joint plate right there, and then we forget about this guy. And of course, hook everything up with each other. I wonder if I can build the joint plate and the power cable. It allowed me to place those at least. I think I might want to add a way for me to maintain the top portion, so we're gonna move the wall a little bit to the right. This is then still leaving me enough space for, let's see, how many? 1, 2 interplanetary launchers. I was hoping for one more, but even 2 should be doing the trick for now. Looking at the cabling, I believe I want to move my joint plate over here. This is gonna look a little bit niftier. Radbolt generator will have to face to the right here. And then, yeah. Okay, I think we got it. We just have to add the automation again. Also, we want to daisy chain these with a bunch of reflectors. So going out from the first storage, we want to hop over, and this is going to go diagonally down. Then the next chamber shoots and we push it diagonally down again, and then the last chamber is gonna shoot over and down. We will be losing a lot of Radbolts this way. Maybe I should make sure that Harold isn't trapped, but also that we build those interplanetary launchers on the right level. The right level would be that one here. We can then have another Radbolt joint plate. Yeah, I like that much better. And maybe if I do this niftily, I even have the space to set up a tiny ladder here to reach everything. Yes, that is going to make it extremely convenient to reach everything, actually. And I don't need these guys here at the bottom. We still have the space to set up something else. Who knows what. This guy's already added. Maybe let's disable them for the time being. This guy needs to face left and also disable. The center one is fine looking up, but also disable until we're ready. Sucks a little bit that we have oxygen left in the system. On the other side, we could just fill it up with oxygen. We don't necessarily need... well, there's polluted oxygen as well. It just sucks. I set up a little mechanized airlock here. This is gonna prevent my duplicants from actually entering the room whenever I don't want them to. So that is gonna be a fairly easy and straightforward system. This door is gonna be closed. Actually, we can do that right now, since we have access to the transit tube. The Radbolt generators are already facing the right way, however the joint plate isn't gonna work this way, so we'll have to lead the cable up there, I guess. And just like that, we're almost done. Now I wonder, should I have a permanent stream of phosphorite coming in here? This is the question. Like, I believe one of these signals should be for the phosphorite. Yeah, this one here. Which one is this leading to? Right there, signal 4. So if we add a signal that is only going to send phosphorite when we need it, then this would mean we don't have to build extra rails. We can use the rail that we had here in our system. But I'm not sure I'm going to have the space to wiggle everything around. Let's still try it. We're going to start with a filter. So we first filter out the phosphorite. I guess we could do that right there. And then what else do I need? I want to build the same automation we had previously here. So I'm going in and then through a filter. This is going out and then over. Okay. So I'm guessing it would be nicer to actually have the filter right here. This would then be going over. This way we exit the materials and they go into here. But I want this to happen with a larger buffer. The excess materials are simply gonna overflow, and then we use a bridge to hop over here and get back into the main loop. So this is just gonna come over here. This will just be taking a little detour. I just love how the FPS actually got improved by us pumping out the planetoid. This just helps a lot. This solid filter should be agriculture phosphorite. And then hold the phone. Somewhere we also need a signal. How did I do that? Oh no, I have to add the automation as well. Do I even have the space for that? Well, first things first, we have to add the connection to the ribbon cable. That is gonna be fairly easy, and it's the first one here. Yeah, we're not using the upper one, so this guy here is gonna be our connection. And it looks as though I finally ran out of lead. This is slightly disappointing. And I'm basically just gonna copy over the entirety of the automation we had previously. It's not gonna be exactly the same because this input here of the auto sweeper is in the way. Let's see, filter gate here and there, I'm assuming. And then we can already have our element sensors. Gonna have one sensor here, and this one is gonna be responsible for the initial check. So, come on. We'll have to run this guy here, and I want to wiggle it around so we get enough buffer space, and then it needs to go through the element sensor and finally into the reservoir. Or maybe even better, we go directly into the sensor, like so, and only after that we add our buffer system. We go up a little bit, over and down, and this is gonna be our security sensor here, if I manage to get that sensor. Where is it? Right there. So we still have the same system as we have downstairs. The first sensor here is to send a short signal in order to get some materials. However, if we fail to provide enough materials, then eventually this sensor is gonna be empty and therefore a lot of materials are gonna come in. It's the same exact thing we always had, just slightly differently arranged. So I guess this sensor will go here, and then the filter gate will go into the NOT gate. This will go there. There, and this will go here and there. Nice. Yeah, that kind of adds up if you ask me. As for the automation here on the top, should be fairly easy. I actually forgot how we did it, but it sends a green signal when the storage is full. So whenever we send a red signal, the storage isn't full. We don't want the previous chambers to shoot, so if this sends a green signal, we actually want to send a red signal. And the red signal should go into the input slot that decides whether or not this guy is shooting. And the same thing can be true for the next one here. And the same can be true for all the Radbolt collectors, so they will be influenced by this first chamber. If it is full, then the reflectors are gonna be shut down. We don't only want to shut down the reflectors, but we also want to go ahead and hop over here in order to shut down the auto sweeper. Yeah, I kind of like how this all added up. Let's make sure this is bit 4. This should be sending a signal for phosphorite, but maybe not all the time. So I'm just gonna cut it until we are done with the automation here. Now, I happen to remember we needed a different type of automation. Like, we wanted to check not only if the chamber is full, but also we wanted to send a short pulse signal. So before I completely forget about that, we should add a AND gate. Where can I do this conveniently? Actually, right here is not a bad spot. Yeah, let me go ahead, add that here. We cut that and that. That means this is the first condition, and the second condition would be a timer. And of course, we will be needing something similar for here. For now, I'm just gonna add this AND gate, and this will go directly into the slot there. So for now, it's gonna be disabled. Good. Next up, a timer sensor. We're gonna have that smack in the center. And this is gonna connect to the second input of the AND gate. Also right there, I guess. In this case, let me move the AND gate a little bit over. I think that's gonna look niftier. This guy sends a green signal when the Radbolt storage is full. In this case, we would want a red signal, so here is the NOT gate. I think to have the signals individually, I wanna reverse both of them and not have them connected to one NOT gate only. So they each get their individual NOT gate, and that should be good. Okay, I mean, we will still have to test it and everything, but it is essentially the same contraption we built previously. It's just gonna be much more efficient because we have many more plants. And I guess I can still prevent them from actually entering the room and providing phosphorite to all of these. Though this farm tile here might be cared for. So I guess one more possibility I have is move the switch here. And then we have the possibility to add a couple of tiles that is gonna prevent me from actually providing for this farm tile. No, it's not gonna prevent me. They can still probably do it. So I guess instead of having the element filter here, we can move it a little bit up. And whoa. My point was this is gonna allow us to deconstruct this and then set up another tile here, and we basically didn't lose anything. The element we're detecting, of course, is phosphorite. How about that? I have to say, I actually really like it. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish building everything, and then we need background tiles. Yeah, maybe let's do that. Like, we need a whole bunch of wallpaper, and I would like this to be a dark color, so we're gonna make everything out of obsidian. I will not be able to quite reach everything, so we might have to ladder up. I should be able to reach everything with just a bunch of niftily placed ladders, but there we go. Look at that. Once we get that running for our planetoids, I don't see how anything can go wrong. And will you look at that, all my duplicants are helping again. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Plus the dark color looks really nifty. But yeah, I think with that out of the way, we will have to wrap up the episode, otherwise I'm gonna delay it for another day. But, you know, after that I'm done with my projects that I desperately had to take care of in real life. And hopefully we can go back to the regular episode interval. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your patience. Sometimes I just cannot keep up. But seeing that this is just a hobby and I have to juggle a family as well as a real life job, I bet you can understand. Thank you so much guys, have a great time and hopefully I'm going to catch you in the next episode. Bye bye.